Do you want to relive your N64 glory days with the original controller? Well, you can now thanks to Hyperkin. So sit back, relax, and let's do it. Alright, so what are we looking at? We are looking at a Nintendo 64 controller adapter by Hyperkin. The cool thing about this is it supports PC, Mac, and Nintendo Switch. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. So this is the item right here, and you plug in your Nintendo 64 controller on this end, and the other end you go into your PC, your Mac, or your Nintendo Switch. So real quick, I want to tell a little story. So when I used to go on work trips and want to rock out my 007 or maybe some 1080 snowboarding, I would use this piece of junk right here. But we don't need to use this anymore because this adapter allows us to use the authentic controller. So peace out. We're going to use our original now. All right, so why I'm so excited is when I travel, a lot of times I will load up this emulator called Project 64. It's a great Nintendo 64 emulator if you haven't checked it out. But what's really cool is now with this Hyperkin adapter, I can use my regular, original Nintendo 64 controller versus, the bogus one that I showed you a minute ago. So anyways, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you one little quick thing, and then we'll go into some gameplay, and I'll show you how to map the buttons. The only thing you need to do before you get started is make sure this switch is in the right setting. So you've got a PC setting and a console setting. So you want to make sure you have it in the PC setting for this, otherwise it won't work. Just like if you're going to go over to the Switch, you'd switch it over to the console setting. Okay, so I'm over on my laptop and I just launched Project 64. Once you launch it, you're going to go to Options. And then from Options, you're going to go to Configure Controller Plugin. Now here you can configure every button on your N64 controller. So you can do, your digital pad's going to be your D-pad, so make sure you do your D-pad. Then you're going to do your buttons, which is going to be your core buttons A and B. And then below that, you're going to do left trigger, right trigger. So just to show you, for example, there's left trigger. I'm going to hold on, make sure you click that first. Left trigger, right trigger, and then Z, which is the one underneath the controller. If you don't remember that, it's probably been a while. There's your Z. And then you can also do your analog stick, up, down, left, right, and then your C buttons, which are right here on this side of the controller. So basically you can configure all of that really simple and easy, and then you hit save. And now at this point, we can load whatever games we want. All right, so we're almost ready to go. We're going to go hit File. We're going to say Open ROM, and the first one we're going to do is 007. You can see my analog stick is working great, so that's pretty exciting. All right, we are going to play some GoldenEye. I don't know if you guys remember, but soundtrack on these games were rocking back then. N64 had some killer soundtracks. We're going to sneak up on this guy. I don't know how he doesn't see me right now, but see ya, bud. All right, we don't want to make too much noise because that guy in the background, he likes to kind of snoop up on you. All right, we're going to go this way. Just point blank his ass. All right, we'll go around the corner, get this dude. Oh, those guys in the background, they always smoke you if you're not paying attention. Anyhow, as you can see, the controls work really great. You can hit your right trigger and aim, no problem. Your analog stick works great. Your C buttons look great to look around. So, I mean, you got a pretty killer setup here. So I'm going to actually play another game. Oh, dude, get out of here, dude. Come on, seriously? All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to play another game real quick so you can kind of see, but basically all the core functions. Damn it. Where's that guy? Oh, I can't even stay around for 2 seconds while these guys rolling up on me. But anyways, I'm going to play another game, but you can see all of it works really great. So let's jump over to one more game, and I'll give you some final thoughts. All right, I figured we'd play some cruis'n USA to sort of finish this thing off. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but cruis'n USA in the arcade was advertised as running on the Ultra 64 hardware, which is based on the Nintendo 64, but actually ended up being run on Midway hardware. So I don't know what the whole story was and why that was the case, but I think they did advertise it as running on Ultra 64, but that was not what it was actually running on in the arcade. But anyway, as you can see, it's really responsive, and having a D-pad, or sorry, not D-pad, but having an analog stick to play a game like this is awesome, and it reminds me of playing this for hours on my N64. I thought I was so cool to be able to have this game at home, even though, I could never afford to have the arcade machine. It would have been really cool, but at the time I did not have the money to do so. So anyways, this is a pretty cool and fun way to play it, so if you have a chance to check out this emulator, do so, because you can really pump up the graphics. So unless you have a modded N64, it's definitely not going to look as good as this if you try to hook it up to a modern day TV. So anyhow, I'm going to move us to some final thoughts, and I'll let you know what I think overall about this little controller cable. All right, guys, it is final thoughts time. So what do I think about this N64 controller adapter from Hyperkin? At $12.99, it's the perfect price, and also you've got free shipping by Hyperkin between now and the end of the year. So if you're an N64 enthusiast or you know one, this could be a really cool stocking stuffer idea. So I don't see a whole lot of downside with this, and I had a lot of fun with it. So thank you, Celia, for sending it to me. Really cool product. All right, now, did I have any issues with it? I had one issue. I could not get it working on the Mac. So I'm gonna talk to Celia, who's my contact over at Hyperkin, and see, maybe I was doing something wrong. So outside of that, I wanted to talk about the Retron Ult. That's a product that they have coming out hopefully next year, and that's actually really cool. So if you're an N64, fanatic, this is gonna hold you over until then. But I got a chance to see that at E3 last year. Hopefully at CES in 2020, I can check it out and they'll have a little bit more information. So that's kind of it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Put your comments below. I want to hear from you. I will have links in the description to this product so you can order it yourself. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you can be informed of future updates. And that's it for now, guys. We will see you on the next one.